Easy junction. And the one they walk a kind of STC Chihono.
STC urban roads. I want to mamma say, I also do and some say if you for the bin so Asqua Stadium. I won't go there. Oh yeah, almost every day come up. Kumasi is only say a
yes, and a poison
Poisson La Blaise.
Poisson La Blaise.
And on the wall a Chinatown.
Almost one
China. Is the China for Najawafa. So I'm hotel and other shops. I'm more clinic because
I want you police station.
Yeah, Malcolm. Yeah, you know. Is that how they are done in Chinatown?
What did Kumasi and grab a more a road minister Asenso?
Yes.
I am on about say
Asenso Boache.
Yes. I say speeder
inner city roads. No, yeah, and your my idea.
I'm sure.
Yeah, and your my idea in Kumasi. I mean, at Asemanso, Honey, all those areas are now hitherto Fahwana inner city. I think they've done quite well about inner city roads Kumasi.
Okay.
And round so now, me frame.
Yeah.
Say unse Mosianso ye chrome aquino.
Yeah.
Omodiama Kofi Job. Who's the first na ye wound to me.
My
oh man.
And you chrome black above.
And no answer na me the king. It runs that we coach Chasso.
Hey,
we Chasso, the Acaso with the coat.
Oh my God, hey, you come and quote Abago with a minute.
Go to that's our bank and the treat you also. Maza, or say a bit Chasso. Na Nancy and Sion Toy, oh man, mommy said in foot throw.
Anna,
in foot throw.
Who's the Biana Mwakata, former minister? No, yes. The end one say, contract a piano or Jessa a Unisicano. Yes, what you count? Oh, what you count? Oh, and on what can several times? What you count? Contract a beer just our watering of a dear, or minimum or more technical time. Yes, what you count? But besides, Sebby. Ubia no abaka contract dine feeling chobani na infutro mommy say omo fear ho nyina so let's appeal to Kofi Job. Kofi Job say utia and that's what
water so
but that's what Kofi Job does. Yeah, ono oye adwuma minim de ntia oye adwuma pa minim de ntia we na betosi say me krom kwan say
Kenya so
ya go pressure abanasa I say o say aba.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Sikako.
That's a wajini bebre do.
Say your contract say enum.
Omo na age Ghana
Kofi Job, Judicial, Sky. The oil motorway you know
yeah, and Amasama
or 2 minutes papa.
Amasama no.
What?
Oh, okay.
What 2 minutes too much?
Wow. My in the
oh, well, that is a matter for the people who are supposed to
supervise them.
The Judicial, Kofi Job, Asabia. Sky. The oils are Amasamane.
Yes.
And no more.
And Jasmo. Alexi Buam. Yeah. That's about 7 contractors. Yeah. But that's too much work on them. And I think
that is how Oman has been using them all the time. Oman more capacity. Oman and the end of the class a Ghanaian.
Oh yeah, that's beautiful. So, all of them in Tiziano for the first time in our history. You find sure. Yeah. You find for the first time in our history, you know, major road projects are being done by Ghanaian companies, which is very positive.
Yeah, I was shocked.
Yeah. On one obey motorway.
Juma, and the motorway Abanzobi. Yenya say a friend motorway. Yeah, Saturday week. Say the car see picture will be cool. Now you know, Ababe Brew, you know where. Quite a cast you turn
you turn yeah. That's a motorway in the same motorway. Now one motorway trot what to me Gina load Gina oh motorway Gina so load
Gina
now one motorway abobo ya nam so
that's so so one dey oh yeah dey okro man say bibia na ye be hye mra a e be bo mamu ni nyina no na e dey amanyo sem afore no e be si ne Ghana fontie my na da ye ho yentimi nko illegal mining da aje nyina na yagitum se de bi kan
yes
obia ntimi mfa nya amanyosem de to so biem ye jai sa nya twumsem se ye nim se ye hie we no asomasi na so bintin eye a 3 ye pe anokwafo ene omo man no wadwene e for mo task force na ya sa dia sa de bebrebe na de bia ye nwasem no enya dia megiri se betimi
na say ye no we want solutions to problems, but we don't want the inconveniences as solutions.
We don't want to sacrifice.
It is a illegal mining.
We don't want to.
communities are mine and Ekosiisen will suffer kakra. But the economy of those communities will suffer.
We don't want
and we don't want that.
But you cannot develop without an
absolutely.
It's not possible.
Inconvenience is kakra. It's not possible. Singapore won't mean to sue on top.
It's not possible.
To sue, there is a consequence. You have to bear it. You know.
Well, Obi, minim de ba Obi the way brem na my education kakra. My say runs for Jampo.
Yeah, runs for Jampo. Okay.
What say? I have said that this matter cannot be resolved in court.
Mm-hmm.
The ignoramuses don't get it.
Okay.
If the courts overturn the speaker's ruling, will the NDC MPs allow Parliament to ever have a quorum to sit on remaining government businesses? Think. This matter should be resolved at home by elders of the land. Our court system is very adversarial, and they will definitely be further flexing of muscles after the court ruling, in a manner that will deepen the current crisis.
Yes. But I want to say, unfortunately, at home, not just or no air proposing alternative dispute resolution mechanisms. But even with the ADR Act now, your issues be a oman, you don't deal with them through ADR. You understand? Issues that border with the Constitution of the Republic, and your ADR assembly, where your interpretation of the Constitution, exclusively reserved for the Supreme Court, and any other issue will be a fine. But when it borders on constitutional interpretation, Supreme Court is the only, when you say alternative, the only forum to deal with constitutional interpretation. Once that is done, and there are consequences for not obeying the orders of the Supreme Court of the land. In this specific circumstance, yes, I agree with and I believe, the two also are not mutually exclusive. The Supreme Court can handle the interpretation of the Constitution, while the backroom conversation, someone saying, Council of State, Ekosiisen, Speaker of Parliament, those conversations can go on. But when it's about constitutional interpretation,
when we project some of these thinking, weird.
Yes.
You know, weird. It's so weird because you need. That's why we are told so about the commercial.
Yes.
Flexing of muscles, man. It should tell you that the kind of people
and what's happening in the interest of Ghana. A personal interest, and that's what people should.
So what he's saying, limited actions, you know. Whichever way, whether yes or no, you need to be in Parliament to work for Ghana.
The same court rules, and when it favors you, praise the Lord. If it goes against you, and some political way, it's terrible.
It's so unfortunate when we have some of these communities and mindset. Especially
people should understand, the writ before the Supreme Court, and yet on whether the Supreme Court is going to declare seat be vacant or not. And for the Supreme Court to interpret a specific provision in the Constitution, which is the sole reserve of the Supreme Court, says seat to declare seat vacant or not. The High Court that deals with that, and Article 99.
Be careful. If you have members of Parliament who can say that Speaker Kasa was the Supreme Court, can you imagine? Can you imagine? I wish that some of these people.
Yes, if you're a member of Parliament, or getting instruction from the Speaker.
But Obi, you don't even comment out like that. What is the impact as a member of Parliament? Speaker Kasa was the Supreme Court. Hey. So when you hold somebody before the Privileges Committee, now you know why because the court will call a person or say our powers of a court now because and the person court. How would you feel? Well, the one lawlessness in your order of the day, then you're normal. And you're very dangerous as we count down to elections.
Yeah.
Already, Obi. And these people, the intelligence community in this country, intelligence agencies should be mindful. Because in terms of destabilizing some of the regions with guns and ammunition in town, the intelligence agencies and you're very careful. Normally up to the game. We need more peace than the interests of political parties and its apparatchiks. Very important. Because in this country, we are wondering how a tour across certain specific regions. Why? Bobby Bansin so no share ring my belly. Hey. Lawyers so. Interpretation of constitution according to dress.
David,
and I subject to
no in your
yeah, because it wasn't ever true because anyway, your man and I are Cassie Yako.
Yeah,
and I Cassie. Now, me, I do my say now, the mammy,
Edda form. Oh, Charlie.
Nana Cassie. Now, many one of our few presenters are very humble, very
decent.
Very decent. So unfortunate. I'm proud to say from a region. You know, from Mehame. All allergical.
No, I have right.
Allergical is that one of the villages.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And Mehame.
Mami you name Mehame. Na me ya do.
You come do be adi ni fiase.
You be am was Mehame. Enti na we dey we the kind me there I know I have the I'm a Philippine. Who be so way back no sir. Also Philippine. You know. In your case, is your mom, and no court ni pediatric yeah. Now what you da any year that Miss No, ya sutri na meta watch now.
And I say the cardinal.
Yeah.
And I like the way he projects his Catholic beliefs. Also a Roman ni mapa.
Hey, what in the committee I said the Roman
ni mapa. Yeah. And I say we wish you very well.
Likewise, you know, I miss one of my guys are more pretty much big about Felix party for you.
Yeah, Felix. And Felix me catch it. No, see how they were lay low. Say a Juma no and your radio should be yeah. One go from one we found a rapture. But I think
I understand say another formidable young man.
Yeah, only Kwabena Yante. If any Kwabena Yante
baako no Elvis no.
Elvis Olusu primaries.
Okay.
Yeah, into Kwabena Yante no so ne Elvis call primaries abe 3 times ni na Elvis ne wini. And now for the Nyamia and Aduma or no Ewini. He's also a solid young guy. Yes, but I think on the basis of how our elections look in 2020, Felix have a brighter chance of winning that seat. Yeah, back for the NDC. Okay. But you know, say young guys like Felix Money Adeno, Ebeka Parliament never Parliament.
Anna, so thank God, Obanwa so tie pa Obanwa de biada you know Obanwa
ayenso ano that's ayenso ano right Ayipe
Obanwa
Samuel Ayipe good afternoon to you that seat nso no say Ayipe lusu with bear 200 votes
enye swasa o
200 no oh that be say what presidential vote gap na there were issues in that constituency. Yeah.
Either Ajo Esiedu Abadai hima.
Yeah. A candidate need oh okay. I hear she's solid on the ground.
Either Ajo Esiedu. Oh na machuma only machuma ekom.
Guy in the friend is Teddy. Something Teddy.
Oh nice name Teddy.
I hear one and this guy friend say Teddy ana. Teddy. Yeah.
Teddy
Nidin no. Teddy.
But or a bill too. That means we see on the crew now that's what I'm free from family. I'm saying Teddy yo, man, Teddy yo. But I always say politicians, no. Election time, they stage and they are so funny. I'm not take care for granted, though. I'm not take care for granted. You know, members make it na omo kabenku, any omo na Madina market, each truck.
If you truck, you know. Truck no much here.
Wafan your make chief for your
MP.
Isu chibenku say tra. Ebi ajinyo me hata.
I'm for no more mercy.
Omo no more mercy. Omo hata ni say.
Na one day chibenku no.
Papa ya no free it says jumaya
cantonment
free zones
free zones
okay
no cabanku
minimum so experts sir agwa ba gozo and o certificate mo nyina ntoma o muti no ata
na wa na echu trog no
so na na ba so echu trog e be pesi na asa na power ba go pop no magimo ni so I really fly the call.
Madina to
say. How many people?
I mean, is that? No, Wabonyum say grace for the race.
But that is what he's used to. Yeah. And then you can't take it away from him.
Yeah.
Your court church, that will be Casa or church.
That's how that because obey in the seat.
Of course. That's all be so the only problem be how.
That day because obey in the seat, no.
Only problem be maybe but for independent any SSS kakrebia. You see it's a solid. Okoka say be me bar full at time because menyesa. Yeah. Especially when you uni baby you free. You know, menyesa you know.
It's true.
Okay. Hey. Papa P can I prepare short chow.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Unim no me na go kan ka da be na me tie o kan yi bi na ye me wa ko be say unim we na because it ba hye ba ju say o fra me kwara be say minimum because we dey minim me problem bia o be refer asem kwa na o ka ba me ba so ye nko mo no so me ba so nti ye da mu nyina mo a lot of your text messages ba Mr. Mickey Charles ye ho ana the source Paul the
Soso yes
on the other so how on this matter of the Supreme Court and matter.
Yeah, say Amasaman contract your friend Maripoma company ni dey no. On one a no.
So lawyer Nana B say ombehwehwan Susu to form Robert no. Ombehwehwan Susu. Also
omo candidate your friend Robert e wo Madina. But who say anke no be possible say guy na no ko independent ni nya koya. But party for na kasa na guy na pull it down. It remember na yede.
Hey, say le jokuku and business no twi benku.
Le jokuku. Oh,
hey, is you omo dia. Am for yadwuma o.
Benku no.
Benku hey, am for drive benku say that area is my field. E be aduane no say hu empia o timi ni aduane ezia.
Ah, no one say odi aduane. Yeah.
Oh wow.
But when him say new development means so about Amenfi Central o.
Ada dia say me.
Sir, injunction na ECD no. I think your friend is saying Ejudi Mokwakunya favorable ruling.
Very good.
I think the injunction has been lifted. I have to get details.
And then Judicial they say the Lawrence me girl you a number of way good. Your friend say crime. Laurentia.
Yes. Laurentia.
Promote Eduji and have my bread crime.
On they say Eduji Honorable Haruna Idris.
Oh, my bread, Laurentia, my bread, Laurentia Ura or something like my bread. No, the picture beyond the about Eduji. No,
yeah,
Eduji yet saying it is me. But what body teacher and what boy of the
Eduji. Now, when you let me double breasted suit, who crew and Eduji. Oh, David, Eduji, true man. Where's the Obi? Good afternoon. Please, can you update me and your listeners about the Adabraka daylight robbery? Footages of the tracking of the car are on social media, and the police seem not to give us any update. I stand to be corrected, though. Please, if as we speak now, there is no arrest, then why did the police release those footages from the street cameras? Kwekunowa, and now on the way, Abba. I don't know, say, police farmer any updates or my arrest be.
They keep updating.
Sada Braka robbery, no, name say, Omatimia make arrest.
Okay, so it's a good one.
I think the police has to update us all on that. We say, Obi, the truth must be told. Some of us are very disappointed in Speaker Bagbin. Why am I saying this? If the whole speaker can tell us that he is not the one to pronounce or declare the majority or minority in the last press conference he had with the media last week, the question is who brought all this brouhaha? Indeed, it's like a father telling his children to fight over meat or toys. Mad Lion or ahafo hwidiem and Udiwe Abrey.
The listener back, Nana God bless or Germany.
Yes.
The back like a what should you know?
Oh,
Nana God bless could say.
Oh wow.
1997.
Oh, 1997 the Sosa.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
We say, Obi, please, there is something going on in the Gomoa Central constituency, and you see people building in the middle of the road, and now about 5 houses who have cars cannot drive home at Gomoa Asebu behind Gomoa Man School.
If only Uncle assembly no quickly na building inspectors no
enkona
omonko hwesa de nti omo ma nche oni kwakwa so sanity a ye dwidigu a e ma ne meka say ye nto aba bia when you are lawless the law will take up that responsibility for you. The catcher and says, I tell and credit. Won't be busy die or baby a coin. Ye boo ya wakasa bino and whoever is in charge, is not sensitive to the plight of the ordinary Ghanaian. Who is the ordinary Ghanaian? The ordinary Ghanaian, Yenina, Nayaka, who is the ordinary Ghanaian?
We say, be happy to see your mind in the back. What has happened to the policeman who was campaigning for the NDC?
He was not campaigning.
Man,
he was not campaigning for
now the policeman
could try. You see, or the another important yaba. Mesre central for the Ghana for yenye careful. Ube huan no makofa obi. Na obi Ekosiisen no ka. Inti NDC dia omaya dia wo no yi omaya dia onafrio. Ni oma ensem no ode akọ hye odo no ode asi ani no opia to abonti. Eti wo si ni a wo to NDC ni MPP fo nyina efo. I have the full video here.
Oh.
So what I say? No, moko yi fa free onum. Oh. If it's a 1 year mre anko those who anko ye san hwe munti gastima ya da sepa. So what I say? Obo say no akofa no. Sa na odinam na okase. We should also be mindful as media people, as citizens of this country. Enya sembia na otia.
Then you run with it.
Now run with it now so start now. So what I say?
I think it's a good point.
Yes, I know sembia. So what I say? Ana se si apenmu pa ba ko Ghana. Penmu pa odi abase amanfo oni so abapa. Say ye hack phone say den na obviously community and say no ho akire pa wo no send aba obi ho no send ko ho no send ko
and so omo ye songo bi
yeah misremo mo ma nyina ni now if you have doubts there's absolutely nothing wrong to check or cross check. If you are in doubt say community I text you say ja obeti mama me 400 cedis bia na makoka adwemu a woni mi say community pa akoka adwemu obo fraud direct kwa ka ja emfa ma me 400 now on pa continue eji jini pa wi answer obia anya ba you know more money now it's Christmas, it's election year
amam for be nyoma bebu
from money now a very important
Mate on I think Fifi Avekwete General Secretary of the NDC update ne X account or
very good
victory for Joanna Jan Kujo.
Very good.
The Secondary High Court has granted our motion to vacate the interlocutory injunction against a Memphis Central candidate.
Any court, you know.
Secondary High Court.
No. A judge for Nibili go.
A judge for Nebia.
And I must say, if India and buy
Ghana judges here. Madam Joanna Jan Kujo is now free to contest the 2024 elections. That's what Fifi Kwete apostles and Joanna Jan Kujo Nankasanso account or say the road is cleared. This is victory for the entire Memphis Central constituency.
Congratulations. She's fought a battle. Yes. She's won it genuinely at the court. So let's stop that kind of attitude.
Anko ya
madana be jaka kamache. Where there you say you cook egg and you could case diabetes in Ghana.
The
kojina case me akasa ya kojina court. I say my mimi say mimi di bem. Me your company. Yeah, more than confident because he did be maybe. Now, maybe I judge that and fire. Hey, it's funny with him. Shock me for one side, son of a West Timor. I know I book on of a trouble now. Yes, I come back. What is it? Because I need easy or to. Yeah, and it's hobby. Now, I call or Coprin Kugu. If you don't think that, Sebi, these are revered judges.
Yes.
Now the assembly are kokaka. Yeah, cry no you say, ya prepare brusu.
Yeah. And people should understand, sir, the courts are not busybodies. So more what your baby, una wo de wasem echo. It do the assembly court now one for sem papa anko to a money man. How do you expect them to rule? And that's why I found the comment of National Security Minister, I found it a bit problematic. So the comment of Oka said
it was very unfortunate, very uncalled for, very unneeded.
Yes. So the comments I say a man for we say mu really ni na echo one side
a man for I'm like,
I mean that it was highly unfortunate a comment to come from the National Security Minister because one of the statement a heightened tension and suspicion around the court.
But amongst the key reasons why the court system is not
a very unfortunate statement. It was a very, very unfortunate. To even say, Senti, or Monshem balance it, that case is Nibioha.
Really? Can you imagine? How do you balance it?
How do you balance it? The strength of the case before the court did it really. It don't balance saying. Meaning, Senti say, ye diba akuma we are near diba akuma. Say, Nipan in the case, Papa, how does that make sense?
I balanced. It's one now, deep him now, what different. Only one him say, balancing to BBI. Okay. When it balances not in your favor, you see whether it is the norm of the day.
That comment was very unfortunate. I hope say he doesn't repeat that again. And yes, I mean, suspicion around the court will not help anybody. In the yenya side, correct.
Well, Obi,
yes.
Aban bi obebe bia no onya kukudu no touch your constitution no aban bi obebe bia no nyina ya ngintum na esinto ni ntokuru akese ne nketwa ededa mmia bebre a begiri se yeyiri ye ho ne ye kan asisi so na ye chichire sa ntokuru nyina asisi a no kwan a ensem bebre ebobo basisi a no is because in tokuru bebre ordinarily ye kra na sebe mra no kra no yam hu doso probiano uhwa o kaga adabi na say we dey obi fa sa kwan we ya obi beat system na kura emra bia ntimi so nu anti ti e besre say omo hwe na omo ye ho adwuma emfa man dey to so bia so say yen the body central for you know we have a responsibility to be truthful to be very objective to issues and not to promote insults propaganda and then blackmailing on our platforms not to promote chaos boko asemaba na yenyina ye srese adwobrebe ba no be una ya da obone central for me the democracy kika nsem basa asim say ye prayer na BBC a office what in cranty no etimi meka no nkran na boko ne nkran mani hours nkronko ahodo a ye hwe say intocracy wo so no ebinim crowd ye na buru ye de susu cha de no but affect kromu ni nyina it has to be count down we should also guard the utterances are yet omudi fa a medium no so akwa abontin nyasa emwa na afensu yenko so amon paema the oboni central for ne ye amanyo self for the obi akwantu omo ko up and down mo anajo awia nwumere de emusuo de ye sign bia na erade hu omo mobo so atase na onfo mu ntwa saa akwantu ahodo yi nyina mra na December 7th obian to santene na onkoto aba se Ghana ene beye nkunimdifo nti se NDC winia eye Ghana ana edi nkunim represented by the NDC ye hwe nim say it will be their responsibility to move Ghana to the next step se MPP winia eye Ghana ana edi nkunim se eye yera Alan Chairmantin movement winia eye Ghana ana edi nkunim eye akwe okofa na yina na Roman father
na da meaning say omo organize an issue statement is it akose say
presidential candidate
it ni phone be ballot paper ne so bi
Roman father na make no
nipa ye de ketua bi o
our submit on
nipa nche no wa ye
o ni she brasesa no we need to je be come up obama the creative industry no emu be de
obama mo major boost
that's all we need we be come back creative industry said it was your bro creative so we that's all shemu Canada you know
Roman father
so
nipa nche no wa ye
be that's obi me besia
wow
na after finally no makai ahwefo na tifo
say na me pato enro na say your baku birthday
na me say be the picture koto o say na we dey yeah of America that's why what my go no we shit but mesre mo munya careful one here man bi num to say obaku no omo dey make a be deceive
sir
oh please who your obaku picture to say am oh hey na me obaku picture na me obaku physicality dia hey
and I say sir editing na
abanya obaku koro paint
ma me ntoni e brutal
hey
sa editing ni ade na abeba banansan no
hey jai no be me to na mama ti say na why na we na to am say
as some R&B
star no boss no I na say
New York
na say what man no we the picture dey be deceive photos ba ko ndani what you pa o about Kumachia, we was running anyway,
in the belated happy birthday.
Then I make can say,
yes,
I have continued to be your election headquarters.
Sure.
Sure. Inti Madaroma.
Back to back coverage.
Madaroma.
Yeah, back to back.
Mr. Mankai Papa there, Paul the Source was saying, Mankai or Mamenko.
Okay.
Senior, it's a fact that the Supreme Court's ruling are very problematic and tilted mostly to one particular side. I want to cry another problem. But it's a fact that it's a fact.
No.
How can you say that?
No. But if you think it's tilted, and looks like you want another opportunity for you to go for a review.
That's all America. If you're on the Supreme Court, on the courts, or me tilted.
Charlie.
In the
Anio Sabote says, Obi, good evening. I think you and Omahini misread what the National Security Minister said. I don't think his comments were in a way trying to tie the hands of the court to even out cases. Even without it, we have heard the concerns on the ground and even from lawyers who are not necessarily political. So for somebody who receives daily briefings on security, he was pleading with them to be sensitive to the society in which they live. That said, is it the understanding that the Supreme Court is necessarily above and beyond everything else? Remember, we need a stable society for the judges and everyone else to be relevant. I honestly don't think what Mr. Kandapa said was in any way an attempt to hang the Supreme Court before the public. Anio Sabote, I agree with you largely, but I think the comment was problematic. I think it was problematic. I mean, to call on the court to see so me balance it, that is problematic. The court, when they sit, what is before them and will determine. Let's get that straight.
But on your subject, you could have bogus necessity system.
It is what is before them and Omu decided. Of course, they are minded by public sentiment. It doesn't influence their ruling.
Let's not do that.
It doesn't influence their ruling. And that's why when a court sits, no the ruling bar, there is a review opportunity for you to go and review. And an appellate system, no part of your court way,
let's accept that. One more lawyers now be quiet to the professional, professional them. It one and way.
Yes.
Then some of the times mostly and criticize judgment after judgment.
Yes.
Yeah, criticize even in our criticism, we should be modest. So what I say. And who says Omunye human beings?
Yeah.
Who said that they are not? So why is it that it's like, and they are a Supreme Court ruling be a nuisance or whatever all over the world?
Yeah.
Their decisions
controversial, sure.
What are we saying about? Let's not pretend as if say
now why am I also the heart of folk are the two stream you see. On per se account was that and then a birthday. It had to be 113 years.
I've been about to see a dime years car park.
113 years.
I'm more improve on Jesus. I'm the office pinos, the safety pinos. I said,
Coach, do not troca, mother. Troca, and quay. And the other. Oshana oye nyoma ye kakra de mai. Yeah, the next chapter it's a paid for segment, from the New Patriotic Party. Area